be learning about the Nile River and how it affected the Egyptians' everyday lives. Egypt depended on the Nile River greatly for their food and water. The Nile River provided people with fresh water and fertile crops. It was also known as the giver of life. They built dikes or walls of mud that kept water from flowing places it was not meant to go. As a result, farmers were able to grow several crops per season. By 3000 BC, the Egyptians developed a boat that transported goods across the Nile. Egypt is blessed for the Nile, which flows south to north, by a prevailing wind which blows from north to south. Therefore, boats can travel down the river. The Nile River is 4,100 miles long and empties into the Mediterranean Sea. If the Nile rises 20 feet, it will cause famine. If it rises 26 feet, then it will cause damage. They thought the Pharaoh had magical powers to flood the Nile. The god Hapi was the god of flooding. He was often seen giving food and the Nile's water away. The Nile has two major tributaries, the White Nile and the Blue Nile. The White Nile is considered to be the headwaters and primary stream of the Nile itself. The Blue Nile, however, is the source of most of the water and fertile soil. The major cities along the Nile include Cairo, Aswan, Alexandria, Abu, Luxor, and many more. In the ancient Egyptian language, the Nile is called Hapi, or Idri, meaning river. In Coptic, the words Pyro, meaning Zahidi, or Pyro, meaning river, came from the same ancient name. The name of the Nile, the Greek word Nilus, which means river valley, comes out of the Mediterranean Sea. They used harpoons to catch crocodile and hippo, but also used them for fishing the Nile. Everyday life for the Egyptian was closely linked with the river. The Nile was the most important part of their everyday lives. I hope you enjoyed our video about the Nile, and I hope we taught you something new about the Nile.